This is another Poets at War General Report. And here's your General, Joshua David Ling.
Good luck.
Howdy, it's your General. I'm doing something different for this month's General's Report. I still plan on doing a few monologue segments during this General's Report, but I have a new idea. I miss vlogging, and I have a lot to show you guys. My Build-A-Bird channel is not doing super well, and so I'm sort of folding that back into the General's Report. Because that's kind of what the General's Report was. It was the monologue, yes, but it was also anything I wanted to show you guys. So, we're going to have timestamps up in that general region for what day it is, and I'm going to save up a whole vlog over the course of a month and give it to you on the first Friday of every month. And yeah, it's going to be a vlog, it's going to be in podcast form, it's going to be all those sorts of things. And yeah, some of the stuff you might not get in audio, so make sure you're checking it out in video form. It is available in video form, Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey, a bunch of other places. So make sure you check that out. And yeah, this is a whole new kind of General's Report. Don't worry, the monologues will still be there. I just wanted to do this quick intro. Alright, we're going to have a weird view of the ground, mostly. Actually, no, I think I could turn it on myself. So, a little bit crazy. Let me just get my eyes focused here. This is morning with me. This is my morning walk that I've been doing for quite a while now. I'm trying to get up to an hour, then I'm going to change things up. But yeah, I'm at 49:30 today, and after all that goes down, at least my plan right now, once we get to an hour, is to do another hour more consistently, but the last 30 seconds of each run, I will add 30 seconds of running. So once I've already warmed up, and yeah, let's see how it goes. I've lost a fair amount of weight. Things are going well. I still got a long way to go, but that's okay. We're moving piece by piece, little by little, inch by inch. And the big thing that I wanted to come on and talk about this morning was I am, since G3, refocusing on that very specifically, trying to make certain things sustainable, not pushing myself so hard in certain areas, because I'm realizing more and more, especially in the YouTube social media game, in the blogging game, because that's still a thing, and even in bringing back epic poetry, doing something that's never been done. The journey is a big part of this. This is one of the reasons I'm making the General's Report this way, as opposed to the previous way. I want to document it. I want to show my work. And I had some advice from some people, and I wholeheartedly agree with. And yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on in that way where I need to fight to be consistent. And I'm making it easier to be consistent. Doesn't mean doing a whole lot less, believe me. In fact, I'm not really dropping anything. I'm just putting it behind a dice wall. I'm making all of my projects rollable, if you want to call it that. That's a little better. Essentially, I can move from story to story, piece to piece, but it's God's decision, because he's the one who controls the rules, as it says in Proverbs about casting lots. So I'm praying and putting it in his hands. And yeah, I've had one day after I redid my entire to-do list to
kind of compress everything into a little bit more of a dice path. And it seems to have worked really well, because I was able to complete my day in a single afternoon. Now, I worked a little bit in the evening, but yeah. And I filmed Poets at War. I'm working on this thing called VDO Ninja. Probably isn't going to come out till November as far as my choice to use it, but I'm going to try to use it and play with it and see if it'll work well. It's a thing you can use with OBS to bring in people to talk to, similar to like a Skype or a Zoom or something like that. But it's a little bit more robust and free at the same time. Seems pretty cool. So we'll see how it works. I'm really enjoying my walks, and I have for a while. As you can kind of see, sun is just starting to come up. I got up at 6:30 this morning because I went to bed about 30 minutes late. I've been getting up at 6. And I had a couple days where I went ahead and slept in because I didn't have anywhere to be, and I really needed to catch up on my sleep. But I feel like I'm gaining equilibrium. We had a car thing that needed to be paid off, a debt for a repair. That's all paid off now. We're trying to consolidate our monthly debts, services more than debts, and try to get everything back to normal, to where we can keep saving for Christmas and for the coming year. I have some things to finish on Project Piper that I'm needing to purchase, probably about $50 or less of stuff. Might be 75 or less, given shipping and all that, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to get it done by December 2nd. Our church is having a creation celebration, and my hope is to tell the stonecutter in my Project Piper style live. Get some video for you guys for the General's Report. Show it off there. We'll see how it goes. But I have a lot of hopes, a lot of dreams, as everyone knows. You guys do too. I know you do. And I'm trying to encourage you along the way by showing you a little bit more of my struggles, but not just struggles, my triumphs. The fact that I'm moving right along, even though it doesn't feel like it. And hopefully that'll be an encouragement to you. I'm going to try and cover some more topics in this General's Report with some monologues, but I felt like, I don't have a lot to watch right now, a lot to listen to, so why not talk to you guys, see how it goes. Sorry if my framing was all wacky. I'm using the back of my camera because I needed the flashlight. Anyway, appreciate you all. Back to the report.
What up, party people? How we doing?
Hello.
Neighbor's dog. So much fun. It's good to see you all. Smoke time. It's also raining. You can probably hear that. Pretty nice. Braves lost tonight. Game 3 of the NLDS. So they'll be facing elimination tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Well, I don't think it's tomorrow. Is it still another off day? This postseason has been so ridiculous. We'll see. So, I went to church tonight. It's Wednesday night, and the 11th, and we had a really good time. We did. It was, they always do a Your Questions, God's Answers, sort of a interactive Bible study lesson type thing, and a lot of the different men in the church give them on a regular basis. We were talking about the distinction between law and grace and where the two do interact. It was good. It was very good. Put me in mind of a lot of good stuff, but one of the other cool things that happened while I was there, I had purchased for the church as a tithe, like years ago, a Roku stick for my, you know what, I'm going to get back to that because Alex is asking me what's up. Sorry, I'm back. I just talked with Alex for a little while. That was really enjoyable. Went and talked about Zorro a lot. If you guys don't know Zorro, you should look into him. Mask of Zorro, obviously, is an amazing film. But I think all of the Guy Williams Disney series is on YouTube. You should go check those out. So, yeah, I got a Roku stick from my church. I had bought one years ago for a TV that wasn't smart, and that got broken, that TV, and they had it replaced by the people who broke it with a smart TV, so I now have a Roku stick. So I only need a TikTok remote, which is a thing. It's not actually TikTok related, but it's a clicker type thing to finish Project Piper, and that's going to open up a whole world of awesome, cool content in the future. Storytelling, slideshows, a bunch of cool stuff that I'm really excited about. So, God provides in weird and cool ways. eBay has been really, really good for us lately. We've been selling a bunch more CDs. We have a bunch of stuff up there. I need to just link my eBay account sometime and maybe sell some of my stories on there. I've been thinking about that for a while, but haven't been able to get to it yet. Anyway, I need to see what time it is. Not too late. Yeah, I could talk for a little while. So, what do you guys think of this new format? Hit me up in the comments. I really want to know what you think about this sort of vlog style where I'm talking to you more about various topics. I want to touch on more of them. You know, I could go into a rant on Zorro right now, and I think I will. One of the big characters that I grew up with, around 5 years old, I started watching. We had Disney Channel for a very short time, I think, and some taped episodes of Zorro, the Guy Williams series, like I said. And, oh my word, Zorro is amazing. He's one of the most slept on later 20th century Western canon characters. Influencing Batman and the Crow and just every single, like, dark but incredibly good hero you can think of has some connection to Zorro. Zorro and the Shadow. Those two are really awesome. So you need to check Zorro out if you haven't already. The Isabel Allende novel is good. It has some iffy kind of stuff in it, but it is very, very good, and it is the official canon, you know, because there's an estate that manages the Zorro IP, and they hired her to do the official canon origin of Zorro, and it's a very, very good. So, highly, highly recommend Zorro. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of spoilers, but for real, just find a Zorro movie and watch it. It's so much fun. Yeah. So, I tell you what, guys. Rain is nice. I already smoked. Sorry you don't get the video footage, but it was enjoyable talking with Alex. He's at the Fight Laugh Feast conference. I really wish I could have been there this year up at the Ark Encounter, but apparently it's in Fort Worth next time, and I think it's going to be easier to get out there than up to Kentucky for whatever reason. Things are moving in an upward direction as far as our finances, and I have no reason to think that they won't continue to. But also, just in general, going west seems way easier than going over the mountains when it comes to driving. And I have someone out there that I can actually stay with. Alex is out in that general direction. Still a good ways away, but still I could go hang with him for a while and go with him. So we'll see how it goes. I hope that can happen next year, and we'll see what's up. But yeah, I'm really excited to do that. Also, apparently, Toby Sumter and Jason Farley have been, according to Alex anyway, waiting to be back on the show at some point. So I need to come up with some topics and get them on, and we can talk and see what's up. Really appreciate you guys. I really, really do. I appreciate all of you who watch, who've been checking out the art as things change and move, and I'm realizing that the journey is a really important part of this channel and this podcast and everything else that I do. Showing you guys the day in, day out grind. I think that's something that I didn't expect to be as impactful for me or you guys as it has been. A lot of people have told me that I inspire them just by getting up and making the thing every day. And that's really cool. I don't ever want to become a self-help guru. I'd rather give knowledge out for free, especially when it comes to how you make stuff. But if you ever really appreciate what I do, I have a shop on my website. I'm going to be adding t-shirts. I have one up right now. I have several of my books in ebook format. There's going to be physical books in the future. There's going to be all kinds of other stuff too. And not just books, but DVDs. I'm going the whole 9 yards. It just takes time. And not just that, there's a $10 a month thing. You guys have heard me talk about it a million times in the ads. The Lingley Arcanium. It's $10 a month. All my digital library of stuff is available. And yeah, that is just continually growing. And you can see my process in file format and get, cool full res pics of art and things of that nature. I'm still figuring it out, but even if I don't make a whole lot of money on this, I'm also figuring out things like eBay and, other forms of jobs. I didn't mention it. We had our first local brood meeting recently, and we had 4 people other than me, and so 5 people in total getting together to share their work, and just like the broodcast. And we're doing that the first Friday of every month when this comes out. So when this video is out, we'll be having, in the evening, another meetup. And I'm really excited about doing things locally that way too. And hopefully people like Alex and Brendan and Ian Maffett and other sorts of folks who are related to the Brood will be able to do their own. And hopefully we can really make the Brood Con a thing in the future. I'm just realizing a lot of stuff takes more time, and that's okay, because the journey is still inspiring people. The fact that we're not giving up is inspiring people, and I just want to say, you guys don't give up either. You're being your family's parts. I'm seeing not me changing lives, but just the fact that, Lewis and Tolkien have resonated throughout history. The Bible resonates throughout history, and we're realizing that as males and heads of household, yes, but also as brothers, sisters, mothers, everything, we have an effect on those around us by telling the stories of ourselves, of our own history, but also the stories that God puts on our hearts to write and create and make beautiful. And I always knew this was true. Why do you think I started saying it in the first place? But actually seeing it in action has been really awesome. And so, yeah. I appreciate you guys so much. And I'm just really enjoying my evening. Even though the Braves lost. And even though, there's a lot of question marks in the future, we have a really good God. And I'm noticing that I can't really sign off as easily with the General's report. I'll probably do one clip at the end of editing kind of thing. Just say, well, that's it, guys. Be your family's part. Something like that. But, yeah. We'll see you next time I film. What's up? Don't mind the red ambiance. I needed something warm feeling. Have some fire kind of stuff going on over there. I am going to be working on, trying to make these General's reports more cohesive. than they might be otherwise, since it's going to be a month's worth of footage. However, I can't promise anything. So one of the things that I had thought of is taking one of my topics and interspersing it throughout the month. It might get kind of boring to me. We'll see. But this month, I think I'm going to talk about one I've been wanting to talk about for a while, The Greatest Showman. I had got to see it at a really good time in my life. I was a dad of one with one on the way, if I remember correctly. My dad was one of the last movies we got to see together. It wasn't in theaters that I saw it with him, but we did watch it probably a couple weeks, maybe a month or so before he passed away. And it meant a lot to us being DJs and entertainers growing up in that business with him, his business, All-Star Kids Party DJs. Had a really great time. And the thing is, like, I just really, really enjoyed the movie. Beyond anything with P.T. Barnum. P.T. Barnum was a weird dude. He did some good things that I don't think he gets enough credit for. And then gets yelled at by all the animal rights activists, all the, everybody. What are you going to do? So, regardless of P.T. Barnum, I kind of want to go through the soundtrack and talk about the main songs that really hit me. Obviously, all of them are fire in one way or another. It's just such an amazing soundtrack. But the two big ones that hit me the most, and I may go into more character-related stuff and some of the other songs, but are A Million Dreams and From Now On. From Now On is just going to have to be another day. That's a whole other ball of wax. That song legitimately has a 50-50 chance of making me cry every time I listen to it. But A Million Dreams, fantastic, wonderful, long-term storytelling musical numbers are one of my favorite things in the world, where you have just a full, like, somebody's life in montage and lyric. Oh, it can be really, really nice, especially when the characters themselves are singing it. I'm not just talking like Phil Collins in Tarzan, even though that can be good too. I'm not knocking Phil Collins. There's something about the characters singing their own story, right? And so I just severely adore A Million Dreams. Unbelievably catchy. The visual storytelling through the whole piece is just incredible. And I know a lot of people go with the existential humanist understanding of the story, but the fact is, God made us sub-creators. So in a very real way, we are sub-creating the world. We are creating the world that we live in. Our family, our community, our friends. Hello, Hazel. Come over here. Over here. Say hi to the people. No one's live or anything. This is just recording. Yep. So I'm making a video talking about A Million Dreams. You love that song, don't you? Do you like that song from The Greatest Showman? Every night I'm lying in bed. Yeah. You like it when the girls sing it, don't you?
Yeah.
When their daddy sings the song and then the girls sing the song, that's really special, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's songs like that with you that I think about sometimes, where I'll sing it and then you'll learn it and you'll start singing it too. And, that reminds me of... Oh, almost dropped you guys. When Poppy would sing songs with me and I would sing them back. And it's just really cool how God uses those generations to bring about all kinds of change in the world. We really do make the world better, Lord willing, through His providence, right?
Yeah.
And our sub-creation. So, what is your favorite thing to make when you're just like... I know you don't make a lot of things right now, but like your arts and crafts and stuff like that. What is your favorite thing to make right now? She's thinking. She thinks with her tongue.
A card.
You like making cards. You do make a lot of cards for people.
Yeah, and presents.
Because you like to make people smile, or don't you?
Yeah, I like to see their happy faces, and I really like crafting a lot.
Yep. Yep. You're definitely a gift giver. Well, anyway, yeah, that's most of what I had to say about it. If you have not seen A Million Dreams, you need to go look it up on YouTube. It's fantastic watch. And just see The Greatest Showman, man. It is so good. I'm going to talk more in depth on when I talk about From Now On, but that's a whole other ball of wax, and I'm going to be breaking down lyrics individually. I may come back to this, but we'll see. Anyway. Alrighty, it's time to break down some lyrics for From Now On from The Greatest Showman. I saw the sun begin to dim and felt that winter wind blow cold. A man learns who is there for him when the glitter fades and the walls won't hold. So far, pretty normal song. Song about knowing who's going to be there when you really need them. But there's a little bit more to it. 'Cause from that rubble, what remains can only be what's true. If all was lost, there's more I gained, 'cause it led me back to you. I love that line because it shows how inevitable the family is. How inevitable you always come back. You can always come back home. I love the beauty of that lyric, because from that rubble, the rubble of a horrible, misadventure, misjudgment of your life, that sin, because from that rubble, what remains can only be what's true. If all was lost, there's more I gained because it led me back to you. Not just your family, but Christ. This is the nature that God has put into the world since Christ came, where sin for the Christian no longer has power over us and actually turns us back to where we're supposed to be. Didn't think I was going to get this deep this quick, did you? Me either, but we'll keep moving. From now on, these eyes will not be blinded by the light. From now on, what's waited till tomorrow starts tonight. Tonight. Let this promise in me start like an anthem in my heart from now on. That's repentance, people. That is full repentance. God, let this start like an anthem in my heart. You know? This song is pure and full repentance, and not just repentance to God, but repentance to the people around you. It is something that the world just does not understand. I've heard so many takes that, he's such a scumbag character in the movie, beyond P.T. Barnum himself, because he was doing all these things without his wife. He dug his own grave, blah, blah, blah. But that's because people don't understand the nature of forgiveness and repentance. Second verse. I drank champagne with kings and queens. The politicians praised my name. But those were someone else's dreams, the pitfalls of the man I became. For years and years I chased their cheers at the crazy speed of always needing more. But when I stop and see you here, I remember who all this was for. How many of us get so caught up in our work, me even in my work, the idea of having a legacy in word and in literature, I get so caught up with it. But then I stop and see you, the family, here. Casey, Hazel, Peter, real people God has given me, and I remember who all this was for. And from now on, these eyes will not be blinded by the light, by my blind ambition, right? From now on, what's waited till tomorrow starts tonight. It starts tonight. And let this promise in me start like an anthem in my heart from now on. And then it has build into a secondary chorus, which is really cool musically, because you're going from one chorus and then you're coming, goes into this other chorus and this big dance number, and we will come back home, and we will come back home again. This is not just a first repentance. This is a single repentance. This is a continual repentance. This is the nature of repentance here on earth until we are glorified in heaven. We keep repenting. We keep coming home. This is the nature of repentance. This is one of the reasons I'm actually working on a commercial. It's a PSA for Poets at War about repentance. And just for myself more than anyone. You know? And it repeats that chorus several times. And yeah, that's mostly it. There's various parts to it, but like we see through the story, we see him going home to his family to be with them where he was meant to be. And this is one of those things, like I'm seeing more people talk about the husband going out to work. And there's a certain truth to that. A husband has to go out and hunt and gather and farm. Like, that's a thing. But at the same time, that is out of necessity due to sin. A father's place is in his home too. It may not be in the same way a woman is. She may be the one who is most of the time ultimately holding things down because things have to come from the outside into the household. But even though I have some jobs where I go out and do things, my main work is here at home. My main legacy and the things that I am trying to do are at home, where I can help my wife and help my kids and lead them the way God intended. And I think that you can go too far in one direction with that and think the husband has to be gone all the time. Not at all. Some guys do. Some guys just don't know how to lead their family when they're in the home, and they mainly just lead their family when they're out and about. And that's, you know, my dad was kind of that way in a lot of ways. But this, I'm telling you guys, this song has so much more than anyone has ever really said that I've found. And so you need to take a listen to the song. And maybe I'll do a cover one day. That would be really cool. Any which way, I gotta get back to work. Talk to y'all soon. Hello, my friends. How we doing? It's been a minute. It has been probably a week and some change, maybe even 2 weeks since I last got going on this vlog, and I figured that would happen this first day, or this first general report where I'm trying the vlog thing. I'm enjoying it. I don't think it's its final form, but I think that it's going to be a part of the final form. Let me adjust real quick here. And so we'll see how this goes. I am chilling out right now on the front porch, where I like to be for these generals reports, quite frankly. Nice and comfy for me. Casey and the kids have gone to a Halloween type thing, and I am here alone finishing up what I need to do for the day, and one of those things was talking to you. I have a lot of stuff that has happened since we last talked. The biggest of which is I'm going to be starting a distribution company for media with Alex. You guys know Alex on the podcast, Alexander Robertson. We're working on the documents and stuff. No name for it yet. Lots of pre-work. We're setting things up for hopefully generations to come. But the two main things, the two main tenets that we want to be putting forward are we want the work that we put out to baptize the imagination of our audience, and we want to be friends to our artists. And when I say friends, I mean that in the biblical David and Jonathan kind of sense. Very, very close, very, very helpful, trying to really help people get their stuff out there. So we'll see how that pans out. I'm really, really excited about that and can't wait to share more as we move on. I just finished today the Sea Witch animation. which is one of the most violent pieces I've ever written. And it's scary as all get out and perfect for this time of year. You know, scary stuff, Halloween, all that kind of jazz. And so that is going well. But also I did more art today than I ever have in another day. I think I did like 8 or 9 sequential stills to finish it out. And I could have done more. And I realized something really important. This is the thing that takes me the most time to create. Making these sequential stills. But it is also the thing that I need to do the most of. So I gave myself today, Friday, until noon. After I did my walk, my morning walk, which you all know about, I went ahead, which ended about 7 o'clock. I woke up at 6, walked until 7, and then I sat down to work until noon. And by 10:30, I had all my stills left and was able to go into Final Cut and finish out the Sea Witch animation. Like I said, I think I did honestly, I did probably a dozen sequential stills. And that's the fastest I've ever done it. And a lot of that's because, let me light up here real quick. That is because I was able to really dial in all the energy that I tend to have in the morning. After I get a good sleep, it's like go, go, go. And I've been using that to do the little tiny piddly things that I should be doing in the afternoon when I'm already getting tired. And just that little change made a huge difference. I'm super pleased with that and looking forward to continuing that come next Wednesday. There's some things that keep me from doing it on Mondays and Tuesdays at the moment, but if I get some in the future, I'll double up. And hopefully I'll be able to be putting out on a week to 2 week, that's what I'm hoping for, a week to 2 week window for chapters. And then once I finish all the chapters in an episode, I'm going to put together the video for the full episode with an intro for Poets at War. And it will be all finished as far as that episode. So I'm really looking forward to debuting that through Poets at War. That includes the podcast feed. That includes all that kind of stuff. If you don't know what I'm talking about yet, you should definitely go and look at it. Call it Poetry for Warriors. I'm taking my epic poetry and I am turning that into animatics, basically. Animations. Simple animations with AI art and some razzle-dazzle on the sound and all that good stuff. And it's turning out really exciting, and it's putting epic poetry in a place that it has not been in the imaginations of people for a really long time. It's really connecting with people. Lots of positive comments on what I've been doing with that. So I think that while I'm super positive and jazzy now, I gotta kind of stress that, I was sick for a little while. Very sick. Some of the worst pain I've ever had in my life. And it goes back to that old C.S. Lewis line about pain being God's megaphone to rouse the deaf world. While I was in pain, the one thing that really bothered me more than anything was I couldn't work. I think that's really common for dads, especially, who have little mouths literally yelling and running around and expending energy that's going to need to be filled by Fruity Pebbles or something in the near future. And while we're doing okay, I'm always worried that missing days could mean more stress, could mean spiral into oblivion, but it never does. It never did for my dad, it never did for me. And Lord willing, it won't. God knows what he's doing either way. Makes me want to go back to Rich Mullins again. If I stand, let me stand on the promise that you will pull me through, right? And if I can't, let me fall on the grace that first brought me to you. This one doesn't want to stay lit today. And so, I want to talk to all of y'all who are having a hard time figuring out schedules. Daniel. Daniel Reed. Other folks who are having a hard time balancing things, and it's not even a work whatever life. I'm saying balancing work, being able to work and not just deal with the mundanities. You want to do a certain kind of work, you have to do another kind of work. A lot of the time, the pain that you're feeling is actually moving you towards something, and you're lacking wisdom. One of the biggest things I prayed for, besides, dear Lord, please end this pain, worst pain I've ever had during a sickness. The other thing that I was mainly saying was, Lord, give me wisdom. Because God does give wisdom when you ask. The Bible literally says so. And the thing that came through loud and clear for me was, I need to work more with other people. I can't be such a hermit. I can't be so in my own thing that I'm not really helping, especially with all these people who have been coming to the Brood and finding friendship. Finding real connection. That's why we decided to start a distribution company. The distribution company, we're hoping, will lampoon itself, move itself into a studio too, where we can really truly collaborate and create some amazing stuff. But we really need the model in place first, and I'm excited about that. We have some really cool ideas for distribution, for helping artists for real. So, with that said, I guess we'll see you on the next one. And if not, be your family's part. Do not turn to the right or to the left, and the Lord will be with you wherever you go. We'll see you next time in the trenches on Poets at War.
For more insightful blogs and vlogs and videos on how to be a true bard, please visit JoshuaDavidLing.com.
God of song said